After practice, everyone else was hitting the showers except Bowers, who was sitting in the locker room fully dressed. The coach insisted he had to shower, but to keep his makeup intact, Bowers had to lie and say he had a huge urethral opening, fearing water might get in and make him sick, so he didn't dare shower. And this was just one more lie in a long list he told. The mascot had no choice but to write down every single one, compiling them into Bowers' life story. But Bowers' life story only got weirder. Born in the middle of nowhere in the countryside, hit by a car and concussed at 5, short and chubby until high school, scared of being carried off by wolves as a kid so he had no experience playing football in public, an enlarged urethral opening that made him too afraid to shower. It was a miracle he'd made it this far. Even though he had an insanely strong throwing arm, the coaching staff still worried about Bowers' IQ. Some even doubted if he could read it all, let alone understand the playbook. The sponsors were already breathing down their necks for the starting lineup, and the coaches couldn't make up their minds whether to start Bowers or Jerry, so it all came down to how Bowers performed at the party tonight. Since he was driving a luxury car worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, Bowers had to park it in the mountains and hike to the hotel to avoid raising any eyebrows. But thanks to his rock-solid wild man persona, Bowers emerging from the woods didn't seem out of place at all. It was even weirdly funny. When he got to the hotel, Bowers realized it was actually a pool party. Terrified of ruining his makeup, he stood by the pool wrapped up like a mummy. No matter how much everyone teased him, he refused to get in the water, which only made his teammates more convinced he was into guys. But what had to happen eventually happened. The coach organized a water polo battle, and every player had to join. Watching Bowers cower in fear of getting hit by the water polo, the investors suspected he had CTE, chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Hiding wasn't an option forever, though. As the other team prepared for their final assault, Bowers had no choice but to step up and fight back. Once the pro quarterback stepped up, the tide turned in an instant. He nailed water polo after water polo with pinpoint accuracy, not a single miss. Using his teammates as shields, he took out the entire opposing team in just a few seconds, and the team was completely blown away by his skills. But during the victory celebration, someone dumped a bucket of water over his head, almost ruining everything.
Oh, he's definitely got the CD.
Bowers had to rush to the bathroom to squeeze the water out of his mask. Just then, Ricky knocked on the door and said the head coach wanted to see him.
I wasn't shitting.
I didn't think you were. Until now.
I thought I saw you did, Will Smith.
I was just breathing. He's out on the dock.
Okay.